All right, we're back on this thing again. It's been a few days. I'm gonna try to rig this radiator up a little bit. I'm going to trim that one hose. Try to make it just eyeball it here. Put these hose clamps on while I'm thinking about it. One thing I forgot was to get heater hose just to loop it, but I probably got some here somewhere. Some water in a minute. Go ahead and try to hook up the oil pressure gauge. Easier before I put it in the car. Ain't nothing be easy. Gonna leak like hell, but did it up here off the header. Coolant too, or for the temp. Once we get it to operating temp anyway, that's all we need to see what the oil pressure is going to do then. You put water and you put oil in it. Put some good old heavy duty Rotella in this thing. I don't remember what I ran in this before. I think I run that VR Racing 50 weight Valvoline in it. That stuff's expensive though, so. Of course, Rotella ain't just super cheap anymore, but I don't remember how much it's. So I know it has a higher capacity oil pan on it. I can't remember exactly. Lord. It just seems like too much. You know, that dipstick may not be the right one. May have it over full. That's 7 quarts, so I ain't putting more in it than that. That ought to be plenty. Heater hose. And some little hose clamps for this. Oh. Got to. No, it's already plugged. I was gonna say I had to plug some vacuum ports on the carburetor, but I don't. You want to take bets on what's going to leak first? Coolant, oil, power steering fluid. Speaking of power steering fluid, I better put some in. Need to plug that and make sure these are all tight. Plug that, get some water. It's just overflow. I'll just point it down into a bucket or something. I do think I am going to have to get this radiator higher because it needs to be about right there to get the block full. Sometimes I think that's the most aggravating part about working on cars is not being able to find stuff you know you have. Like, we'd probably done had this thing running if you account all the time I spend aimlessly roaming around the shop looking for stuff. That ain't gonna work either. This is just gonna be a disaster, I can already see, but yeah, as soon as I fire this thing up, it's gonna fall into the radiator fan, but at least everybody will get a chuckle out of it. Well, this is gonna be a cobbled up mess. But if it works, is it stupid? Perfect. All right, let me go with some more water. Let that percolate for a minute. I gotta hook a wire to the distributor. Probably not heavy duty enough, but that's what we're gonna use. If I can get to it. Oh man. Make me say bad words again. Get my eyeballs where I can see. Ground cable up. Ground, power to the distributor, go hook fuel up. Take this fan fitting off. Yeah, this little deal has turned into way more work than I had wanted it to, just to find out if something is going to have oil pressure or not. Alright, now I just need to find a little piece for the return, put them in the gas can. We're getting close. All right, that was a disaster. But anyway, I think I got everything hooked up. I'm gonna try to just crank it over without hooking the distributor up or hooking fuel to it, just to see if it's gonna turn over. I'm just gonna use this jump box. I'm not gonna hook a battery to it right now. I don't have a good battery here. Of course, I have all this shit sparking right by the battery, so that's awesome. Let's see, got a little starter button hooked up, maybe. Of course, it's right up against the header too, so that's probably gonna melt, so that'll be cool. Bad boy on, let's see what happens. Well, the jump box ain't got enough oomph. So, I guess we'll try a battery. I do have one over here, but I don't think it's any good, so. The biggest problem here is this is a side post battery, and I have top post cable, so. Ooh. Something's smoking. Negative cable, probably. Well, shoot. I really didn't want to take the battery off my car. I thought this jump box would work, but I understand it's showing fully charged. I just didn't have it hooked on that good. Ooh. That ground cable's just not grounded good. Nope, it's not. Y'all may get to see me burn my shop down. Alright, try it again. Fire in the hole. Ain't gonna do it. Well, damn it. Alright. Really did not want to take that battery off my car. All right, so apparently it's gonna be one of them days where nothing goes right. So I don't have a hot battery here. I don't have any good batteries. I found one other junky battery there that I'm charging now. I don't think it's gonna take a charge, but we'll see. My little jump box won't do it, so I really don't want to take the one out of this car because it seems like every time I take the battery or unhook the battery, like it throws off something in the computer. Like it takes it a while to learn again. Like it always runs weird after you put the battery back on it. So I don't want to do that. So I'll just let this battery charge for a little while right there. Maybe it'll take a charge. It's going to take a while though, so we'll take a break for a little bit and I'll get back on it when that battery gets charged up. All right, so it's a few days later. Still haven't got this to run yet, but I did forget that I had a brand new battery on my trailer after I spent days trying to gather up a good battery or some way to turn this thing over. So got it hooked up. Let's see if it'll turn over. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah. All right, so where we left off, I think I have everything hooked up. I've got just a gas can there with lines running it from the fuel pump. Got the radiator hooked up. Got water in it. Yeah. Got oil in it, power steering fluid in it. So yeah. May try to turn it over a little bit and see if it'll build oil pressure. Just not yet. Not cool, bro. Yeah, not yet. It may have to be busted off, but it's getting fuel to the carburetor already. I don't have the distributor wire powered up. I'll have to do that. I don't know that it's going to reach. So yeah, let me hook up a few wires and see if we can make this thing make some racket. All right, I'm going to try it. I did turn it over a little bit, got fuel in the carburetor. So we'll see. Let me hook the distributor back up. Fire in the hole.
pressure never got below 50. It kind of fluctuated between 75 and 50, but my temperature gauge never did come up. It didn't work. I have one of them little infrared thermometers and used it a couple times, and the engine was up to operating temperature, and then it quit. But I melted my starter button wire because it was right on the header, which I figured it was going to do that. But anyway, the battery fell and unhooked it, so it quit running. But I think it ran long enough for me to determine I think it's okay. I wouldn't be afraid to try to put it in something. The car that I had my eye on that I wanted to put this motor in, the guy already sold it. So, of course. But that's what happens when you take too long around here to do something. I mean, when it's a decent deal, it ain't gonna last long. But it does run, has pretty good oil pressure. It does sound a little rough. Of course, it's just running open headers. It's hard to tell, bad as my hearing is, but it did sound like it had a little pop to it. But I didn't even do anything with the timing. It was, the distributor hadn't moved, so I figured it was close enough, and so I just let it run. I don't think the thermostat ever opened before the battery fell and the cables come unhooked. But it was still, like I said, kind of at a low speed idle when it was just kind of loping a little bit. It would fluctuate between 50 and 75, and that's more than it ever had. So before, you'd have, cold 40, 45, and then it hot. Like I said, it started out at, it dropped down to around 20, and just the more I drove it, the lower it got till it got down to 0. So, and I think just by the way everything looked on the inside of the engine, I think it's good. Um, it's definitely not no like hot rod motor or nothing. It's just basically a stock motor. And so I know everybody's like, why don't you just leave it in this car? Because I want a badass motor in this car. This motor will probably go into something if I run across another deal on some type of old Pontiac, or try to find another Ventura or an old Firebird or something, or who knows? Who knows? But that's all I really wanted to do, was just find out if the motor was bad, and yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I didn't get to, like I said, I didn't get to run it near as long as I wanted to, but I mean, it got to up to around 200, like 199, 200, and it never dropped below 50 psi. So I think that's good. And I can always, like I said, I'll have to fix my starter button where I melted it, and I can still run. I mean, everything will still be hooked up, and I can run it later. Of course, as loud as it is, I can't really run it a lot late at night. But I think it's Sunday afternoon, so you know, try not to piss the neighbors off too much. Um, but yeah, filled the shop full of smoke, so had the fan running to let it kind of air out. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to stop on this little project for now. Like I said, I may run it again later. I really just crudely hooked everything up just to get this video done. I may try to do a little better job just for my own benefit, just to run it a little bit longer, and make 100% sure. But I do feel pretty confident. But yeah, like I said, we got coolant leaks, we got water dripping out of this cheap ass eBay radiator. But I didn't see any other leaks. I don't know why the temp gauge never did. Of course, I don't know. It doesn't really show to be. It doesn't start at 0. It starts at 130, but it never moved from that. So I don't know. It was broke right here, and I had to crimp it back together. So I don't know. Maybe it's not right. And my choke wasn't hooked up, so I just stick a screwdriver in it. But yeah, it runs, and it pretty much has what I would call good oil pressure. But I just know how my luck is. I will run it a little more before I put it in something, or before I buy something just dedicated to put that in. I would like to run it I'll get another temp gauge where I can actually, for real monitor the temperature and get some more batteries for my infrared, and let it run through a good heat cycle, let the thermostat open and all that stuff. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching. Please subscribe, share, tell your friends, do whatever. And oh, I got one other thing. I'll talk about while I'm on here. Got my heads back from my buddy that did them for me for the gray car, and he did a killer job. They look great. Look like a brand new set of heads. They were cut for bigger valves. He resurfaced them, put my springs in for my cam. So we'll be getting on that project pretty soon. Not like in the next week or so, because I don't want the car tore down, because there's still a couple of like little local car shows that I want to go to. So I don't want to tear the car all to pieces. So yeah, I mean, things are getting to where I'm gonna have more to do probably than I want to do. But and this thing is in the shop right now because none of the headlights are working. So I got all that fixed. I got all my lights working, and I have the black wheels getting recoated because they were kind of messed up. So I just put these on to be able to drive it. And damn it, I like it. It looks good. I mean, I still want to go with the black wheels, but I mean, those look good on there. So I'm kind of torn. What do y'all think? I mean, leave these on it or put the black ones back on it? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.